What's up, Queensland? This is the Taiwan team for Trade and Investment Queensland. I'm Patrick Hafenstein.
I'm Chris Lee.
I'm Sabrina Lee.
I'm Emily.
In June this year, I went out and interviewed 10 senior executives from Taiwan from the food, agriculture, biotech, innovative technologies, international education, government and banking sectors. Why could I interview these people in person? Because as of August 2020, Taiwan had fewer than 500 cases of COVID-19. Business has largely remained unchanged. It's been business as usual with no lockdowns. Still forecasting 1 to 2% economic growth here in Taiwan. Unemployment is at under 4%. Year-on-year export orders have been up every month this year. And domestic tourism and the local Taiwan stock market has been at historical highs. If you are interested in learning more about the business environment and the business opportunities in Taiwan, please check out this video.
Hi, my name is Chris, and I'm TIQ Taiwan Business Development Manager of Life Science. I'm proud to introduce you Yvonne Chan, the Chief Operating Officer of Lin Bioscience.
Lin Bioscience is a drug development company specializing in innovative therapy development for the life-threatening or disabling diseases, especially for oncology and ophthalmology. And actually, we set up our Taiwan headquarters in 2016, and then we set up our subsidiary in Australia in the same year, to further enhance our research and development capacity and look for the opportunity to partner with top university in Australia.
Okay.
Yeah, and why we choose Australia as our partner? That is because the high quality of the biotech and the research in Australia provides a meaningful scientific foundation and insight to the drug development. And Australia also has a streamlined regulatory and ethic review process. So more than 95% clinical trial could be started through the clinical trial notification scheme. So sponsor could initiate the clinical trial in a quick turnaround time in Australia.
I also look after food and agriculture. I'm proud to introduce you Dr. Chi Ping Chow, the former director of Taiwan Banana Research Institute.
Australia always the benchmark in terms of the respect to intellectual property. And secondly, we talk about new southbound policy in Taiwan, how we can connect with our neighboring country, especially Asia Pacific. And Australia is such a wonderful country. Also has a belief that Cavendish banana industry need to be kept to be sustained. So we think there are many options can link Taiwan and a respectful country like Australia, but why not agriculture? Because we are similar in kinds of only for local consumption mainly, and also we think it's important livelihood was for growers. So we wish if it maybe it not be 100% a successful story, but if it could relieve the impact and can sustain your country's banana industry, still Australia, we are very glad we have this opportunity to start our first step to engage a very formal memorandum of understanding.
Hi, my name is Emily Zhen, and I'm the TIQ Taiwan Office and Marketing Manager. I look after institutional investors, and I'm proud to introduce you to Serena Zhou, the Assistant Vice President and Head of Marketing Department at Taixing International Bank.
For Taiwanese banks, there, I think, because we set up one branch there, so we're starting from wholesale banking business. So our main target clients is the corporates, the corporate groups, no matter they are Taiwanese corporation or Australian or Asian companies, we offer the products basically that's servicing their financial needs, just like lending, trade finance, or syndication, and some investment products, just like deposit, and furthermore some FX derivatives there. So basically, the products for corporate service is full range, but we haven't got the next stage. We haven't stepped into next stage to start our trading business. That's the next stage plan.
Okay.
Yeah, but we need to get EPRA's approval first.
I also look after government relations. I'm proud to introduce you to Qingyu Yao, the Director General of the Secretariat at the New Taipei City Government.
I have to say, last year when our Deputy Mayor has accepted your invitation to visit Brisbane for the Asia Pacific
City Summit?
APCS, the beautiful scenery and the friendly people and the vibrant economy has impressed him and the team a lot. We have a lot of exchanges to continue, and sister cities will be a very good long-term goal to pursue. But before we establish any formal sister cityhood, we would just love the open arms attitude of cities like Brisbane towards establishing and conducting any exchanges with New Taipei, whether it be in sports, culture, economy, investment, and even summit meeting. We welcome all the possibility. Oh, I forgot to mention education.
Education, of course.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Sabrina. I'm the TIQ Taiwan Business Development Manager. I look after innovative technologies. I'm proud to introduce you to Dr. Leo Lee, the Secretary General of GoSmart.
If you try to make something different from others, I think Taiwan is probably one of the best place that you can choose, except that's very popular place. Because if you want to focusing on the for the Chinese market, I think Taiwan will be better than other place. Yeah. And if you want to making a real IoT products, I think in Taiwan we have very mature ecosystem. We have a very mature supply chains, so you can find anything you want. Any kind of device, any kind of sensor, any kind of the company who can support you to produce your prototype and also produce your product. So if you interested with Asia market, I think Taiwan will be probably one of the best choice when you try to reach the Asia market.
The following professional is Erica Chu. She is the Business Development Manager for Meat and Livestock Australia in Taiwan.
Okay, in general, I think Australia is doing pretty well in terms of, it's not just for Taiwanese people, but for all over the world. The positive traits about Australian beef is that clean, green, safe, and the industry also commits to look after animal welfare. And so all these positive traits are well recognized by Taiwanese people. And also Taiwanese people started to understand that Australia doesn't only have grass-fed beef, but also produce pretty good quality of grain-fed beef, especially Wagyu. Wagyu beef is pretty popular among Taiwanese people in terms of beef loving. So if you go to a restaurant like a high-end steakhouse or yakiniku restaurants, you can also see grain-fed beef from Australia, and people actually loving it.
The following dedicated politician is April Yao, the magistrate of Taidong County.
We mainly focus on tourism. But the most important for me to, what do you put in tourism? What you put it, context into the Taiwan tourism? Because we have 7 different tribes. So the indigenous is very important essence in Taiwan. We promote a lot of the indigenous tribes tourism and the agriculture. We grow most of our products organically. Because of you can see the weather, the air, the water is so pure. So people will trust us, trust Taiwan, trust our product organic. So that's what we focus on. We have a lot of little known places that is not for mass tourism. It's for specialty, for a small group, like 20 of them. And so that you can have the wonderful, marvelous experience to experience the environment, the food, the people, and the culture. So that's what we focus on.
Okay. Very similar to Queensland. So, I mean, agriculture, tourism, top 3 for our economy.
We are not saying it's a perfect, but when they have no choice, take an example of Philippines. In Mindanao, it's such an important cash crop, maybe just after coconut. But because of the replacement, the possibility for having that materials, like this for masala cultivars, to replace their commercial cultivar they use now. And then the loss is significantly reduced from maybe 50%, 20%, maybe 10%. I'm not saying perfect immune. No, it still has some infection. But look, their competitiveness of the industry still be number 2 globally. Or when I, realized like in some private company in Mozambique, they grow Williams. However, because of suffer from the same Fusarium wheel disease, they use our materials, and then they convert from closing the chain, almost to close their farm gate, and then they still expanding their land from invested land, 500 hectares, 1,000 hectares. So that means it's something we think is good, and also possibly could be a potential substitute for Cavendish variety will suffer from TR4.
I think risk control is the priority in the first half. And for the performance, as a Taishin group as a whole, I think it has some impact, but not that much. That's because financial markets, I think because the market tumbled in, quite volatile. So financial investments, I think it has some they have some suffer. But other business, I think, because in Taiwan, somehow some industries benefit from COVID-19. Yeah, just like some biotech companies and some online business industry, e-commerce, and some Taiwanese companies. They used to run their business overseas more, but they started to think about probably they need to move some resource back to Taiwan. So which the government also offers some campaign, incentives for them. So we do see a lot of opportunities during the period. Some Taiwanese companies, they try to share some investment or resource back to Taiwan.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of the things we noticed during the epidemic crisis is it hits the most vulnerable. It hits the most vulnerable groups the most. One of the statistics we found is the sharp rise of domestic violence. Therefore, we have set up new hotlines, and also some of the new measures that domestic violence victims can dial secretly at home when their spouses who actually are violent could be with them all the time. So with all these measures, we also think that citizen support, citizens' awareness are very important. So one of the first international webinar during this epidemic, we actually focus on the topic of domestic violence. So I think the city government cannot do it all, but our job is to make sure the important issue, and usually the most neglected issue, is being raised by us. And we always seek international collaborations for all these crucial issues.
Biotech is a hot topic in Taiwan investment market right now. And actually, Taiwan Biotech has recently have several positive development progress and deals that encourage more investment to this industry now. So I think for the Taiwan Biotech, having good technology and good strategy will help them to access to more resources to expedite their pipeline development. And this will help the Taiwan bio industry has a great growth in the near future.
The following tech leader is Andy Zhang, the director of Brogen Technologies.
Okay, Brogen started as a software company and somehow find our way into the amusement park, theme park industry. But we see the future are changing. Right? We don't know if people will keep coming out in 30 years. Because we're seeing everybody's basically spend a lot of the time on the handheld device or actually become...
In quarantine.
Yeah, in quarantine, for example.
Yeah.
So maybe the future of entertainment will be different. Our future actually is still the same. Our mission is to bring people happiness.
Yeah.
Right? So there's no limitation for us, and we'll leverage what we know and keep finding new ways to entertain people. Maybe the future will be very, very different. Okay. Will be a more immersive experience, but we don't know how. Nobody knows, but we're still finding the ways. But in the meantime, of course, we'll continue our R&D on making better theaters, better immersive experience, and at the same time, we actually invest quite a lot in content creation because actually all the experience coming out of a story, good storytelling, right? People need to enjoy that. So we're doing both.
Okay.
It's been challenging. It's not just because the competitiveness in this market. As Australian constantly has to face the challenges of the weather changes and also the strong demand from over the globe. I think Australia beef industry in general is striving to provide good quality products and actually is producing really good quality products, not just for domestic market for Australian people, but also for the export destinations. So I think in the long run, from MLI's point of view, we do want to introduce the beauty of the Australian products, not just grass-fed, because we do have a growing number of people loving grass-fed beef now because they consider it's a natural, it's a healthier options. Whereas for food service, especially because food service have to look for products that has consistent quality and a consistent quantity. And I believe that grain-fed beef from Australia could be our next star.
Okay, so maybe first of all, Taiwan's actually not as international as most of people thought. Taiwan's more familiar with U.S. system. They will be assuming a lot of things from a business perspective. It's the same system as United States, America. And they're not so familiar with Commonwealth.
Okay.
So even for project, when we first working with Australian companies, we actually, first thing we need to be educated to understanding the different systems. Commercial, government, even school holidays. That's a big surprise.
And also in the Southern Hemisphere. So
so for us, and that's actually for synchronization and planning in the beginning, be aware of the difference. Because Taiwan, a lot of systems in Taiwan is following the US system since decades ago.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
That would be one tip. And the other is Taiwanese tend to be workaholics. Okay? We are anxious because we actually are in the environment highly competitive.
That's right.
So we move things at very fast pace.
Yeah.
While I will have to say, Australians more work-life balanced.
Correct.
Right? So in that sense, a lot of time you will feel like the Taiwanese partners are too pushy, overly ambitious, right? And overly rushing on things. But keep in mind that's how Taiwan survived.
I also look after international education sector. The following QUT alumni is Vivian Wu, the Vice President of National Taipei University of Nursing and Health Sciences.
I think the key factor of the establishment of long-term international partnership is whether it is two-way. In the very early, the partnership may be just one-way interaction stage of the partnership. So the partnership, which lasts 2 to 3 years, should increase the understanding of the partner and then develop a two-way partnership plan or program. I think if the partnership has been maintained as only one-way relationship, and once the interest does not exist or the leader change, the partnership will be affected and difficult to sustain, to continue. So that's my thought.
Okay.
We were surprisingly to learn Australia has one of the best resource for film. I think the government spent quite a lot of effort bringing up Australia's film industry. A lot of Taiwanese people not aware of it.
Yes.
Majority of the Hollywood blockbuster film, either film or post-production, was done in Australia.
That's right.
So it has a very mature industry that can be leveraged.
Yep.
Taiwan's actually right now, particularly around gaming industry, or Taiwan's media industry right now is declining, but the gaming industry is doing very well, and they should learn how to leverage that resource in Australia. Besides just the resource in the production, also Australia film industry already have a direct channel to the mainstream area, mainstream industry like the Hollywood system.
That's right.
Right, because you need to be qualified, you need to be, there's a lot of different regulation and association need to be, belongs to that before you can even take on the jobs. So I think that's something Taiwan can leverage, that's one thing. The other thing is actually, I think from Taiwan's tech sector, IoT, Internet of Things. If application in industrial level, in agricultural field, or smart tech, I think Australia will be a really good partner for Taiwan. Another is fundamental research on medical research.
Okay, so using ag research or medical research from Australia and then working with the Taiwanese partner.
Yeah, because exactly
IoT
that.
Side of things.
Yeah.
So the MOE from 2019 is last year to initiate a pilot project cooperating with Australian office and some Australian vocational education institute. So the MOU firstly select 3 to 4 technical vocational university offering sport, leisure, and hospitality courses to participate in this project. And the consultant university is our university. First of all, from this school to send outstanding students and teachers to Australian TAFE and other vocational education institutions to study sport, leisure, and hotel management certification courses and obtain qualifications. In turn, MOE plans to deliver these certification courses into Taiwan and be integrated into current technical university courses.
I think we have lots of benefit when you focus on a very specific domain and also the specific market. And also in Taiwan, we have lots of companies who also able to extend their market to the Southeast Asia, for example, to Thailand, Vietnam, Malaysia, and lots of countries. So we also have a very, very good connection and good relationship to these countries.
The following rice politician is Vivian Huang, the deputy mayor of Taipei City.
In Taiwan, this is a traditional society of the Chinese culture. So the divorced woman is so weak in this area. I think we can help them in the Taipei City government. We also support the lawyer counselor to serve our citizen who want some free lawyers service in Taipei City government. We also have that service. I think when I was a counselor, I can ask the government to do this. And I'm a deputy mayor now. I can do it by myself.
Excellent. All right, so I'd love to share with you we have a women's strategy for the Queensland government, which focuses on like leadership and empowerment, and also financial security and independence for women, and their health and also their safety. So I'd like to share that with you.
Thank
Send
you.
you an email.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Deputy Mayor.
Thank you.
I'm proud to announce that at Taitung County, we have the most female department head.
Okay.
And we have 8 female department heads in Taitung County. And they are all very capable and work-hearted and good leadership. So they are my team. We also have redone the budget to provide equal opportunity throughout the community.
Excellent.
So we try our best to do that.
Wonderful. Congratulations, and keep up the good work, and I look forward to coming back to Taitung again.
I wish you come to Taitung any season, anytime. You are our friend. Also, all the friends in Queensland, we welcome you, Taitung. Thank you.
As you can see, Taiwan and Queensland enjoy a very close and prosperous relationship. Taiwan is Queensland's 5th largest merchandise export destination, and our state is the most popular destination for many years for Taiwanese tourists, students, migrants, and working holiday visa makers. If you are interested in exploring business opportunities here in Taiwan, please get in touch with me, Emily, Chris, or Sabrina, our friendly, helpful, and professional in-market specialists. Stay healthy and take care.